What's up, guys? Random Rays here with another YouTube video for you guys, and just want to give you guys a quick update on my MacBook issue. And as the title says, Best Buy sucks, especially in North London, Ontario. Anyways, the Best Buy in North London, Ontario is the closest one, and of course, as you guys can see, it's a MacBook issue. And when I showed you guys a couple weeks ago about my MacBook Pro issue about that scuff thing, and I attempted to take it back to Toronto, but they couldn't do it because I didn't bring the box and everything. And I said, you know, I'm gonna forget it. I don't really care anymore. But anyways, I experienced another issue with the MacBook, and the hinge. Every time you open and close the MacBook, it makes a clicking sound. So I don't know if you guys can hear this, but here it goes. So you guys can hear every time you open it. Makes a clicking sound. It's not a huge deal, but you know, it is a little bit cause for concern, as you know, when a hinge makes funny noises, that's usually not good, indicating that it might be worn out or something's not right. And my previous 13-inch MacBook Pro didn't do that, so I decided to finally last week trying to get someone to take me over to London. Now last week did have a chance to go to London, but then we had a big snowstorm that hit in my community here, and so I couldn't make it there at that time because the roads are pretty bad. And then next week, or today. A week later, I finally managed to find a ride to London, and took it over to the Best Buy there, North London Best Buy. Spoke with customer service, and I was about a week over my 14-day return period, so she grabbed the manager, a guy named Greg, in North London Best Buy, and yes, I'm being specific. But anyways, for those of you who live in London, if you deal a guy with Greg at North London Best Buy, he does not give a shit about customers, because I had a bad experience with him, which I'm about to explain. Anyways, I explained to him my story about going to Toronto and everything, my issues with my MacBook Pro, the scuffing thing, but the main thing was the hinge issue. So I told him that, showed him, you know, the issue, that he could hear it, he could obviously hear it, he acknowledged that. And first thing he said was, well, first when I told him the story, he kind of contradicted my story. The first thing was a snowstorm. He said, well, we didn't get much snow in London. I'm just like, I was watching the news, and all the schools in London, most of the schools in London were closed, and a bunch of them in Southern Ontario. So obviously, he was contradicting that, but that did occur. We did have a snowstorm last week because my school closed. Second thing was the trying to get a ride to London. And I don't drive. My mom doesn't drive, so I do have to, you know, try and find someone and have time to take me over there. And most of my friends are pretty busy with work and school. And this week, though, one of my mom's friend had time today to take me over. And he kind of contradicted, saying that, you know, I could easily find someone to take me over. But you know what? Everyone has busy lives, and you know, I can't just ask someone to say, hey, let's go to London. You know, London from where I live is about probably 40 minutes away, so you know, it's a little bit far in terms of trying to get someone to take me there just to change a computer. But anyways, yeah, he kind of contradicted my entire story, and then it shouldn't really matter what the story is because we have two issues with the MacBook. And the first issue that I mentioned to him was the scuffing issue. He said that it was a stupid issue that I mentioned, and that it's barely noticeable, and I have to shine a flashlight on it to see it, which I kind of did with my iPhone just to make it more visible. But I told him, you know, you wouldn't buy a new car with a big scratch on it, which means like, yeah, I actually would. And in my head, I'm just like, seriously, you buy a new car with a giant scratch on the side? I don't know what's about him with that, but I told him it's a $2,000 computer and it should not be cosmetically damaged. But then he goes on saying it's my fault, and I took a picture of it on that day, and I put it on the MacBook, and we hit info on the picture. It shows him when the picture was created, and well, I don't know, he just kind of shoved that you know, evidence away, you could say. But anyways, the main issue I wanted to discuss with him was, of course, the hinge, and he clearly heard the hinge. And then he claims that it was my fault that the hinge clicks and that I damaged it because it's user abuse and Best Buy couldn't do anything. And I showed the computer. The whole computer is perfectly fine. There's no, you know, physical damage of indicating a blunt force hit or a drop. Because if I drop the computer some, you're clearly going to see like a huge, you know, dent or you know, a huge scratch mark on the computer somewhere. There's no visible, you know, dents or any huge damage like that would indicate abuse to the computer. So then I requested that, because he was not, you know, giving me what I wanted, I requested another manager to help me out, and he brings out another manager. And this Greg person was a senior manager, so he's clearly been there for a while, and he brings out another senior manager. Told her the issue. She was like, I don't know, 60 years old or something like that, and told her my issue, explained to her my entire story, and well, she pretty much did the same thing and said the same things that the other person did. And the Greg person acknowledged that he didn't tell her anything, and that, you know, everything I'm telling her is, you know, new to her. I don't know if that really makes a difference, but yeah, I told her everything about that, and she pretty much contradicted everything I said, and I was pretty pissed off. She also brought another Best Buy employee over to inspect the hinge. So they go looking at the hinge here, and here's the hinge of the MacBook, and they said it was out of center, out of line, indicating that I damaged the computer. Here's the hinge, guys. I don't know about you, but it looks perfectly fine to me. And in terms of being out of line or out of center, like, there's zero indication of me abusing the computer, that, or at least the hinge, in any way. So I don't know. At that point, it was like pretty much I packed it up and walked out of the store, and I literally told them to go to hell because I was pretty pissed off that they're pretty much calling me a liar and that I physically damaged my $2,000 computer. I'm not that stupid. You guys know I take care of my stuff very well, and I was pretty pissed off that accused me of that I created these issues. And like the scratch issue, yeah, you can debate about that, but technically I did show some evidence. I took the picture the same day, but I guess they could say that I did that. But in terms of the hinge issue and me damaging the computer, this thing is practically could pass off as brand new. There's no indication of user damage. But anyways, for those of you who live in the North London Best Buy, or live in London, Ontario, and buy stuff at the North London Best Buy, I don't really recommend dealing with the manager, Greg, because he pretty much disrespected me in a bunch of ways. I'm not making this video to bash Best Buy or anything. The point of this video is I'm just trying to address you guys. If you buy a MacBook or any Apple product, I highly recommend going to the Apple store instead, because they have far better customer service. They have a thing called a personal setup, where they would open the computer for you, turn it on, set it up for you, and make sure you're happy with it before you leave the store. Best Buy, you buy it, you take it home, you open it, and hope for the best, pretty much, and you're pretty much on your own from there. But yeah, I was pretty pissed off about that. Like, I can understand that not able to replace the computer, but they don't need to make up all these excuses and accuse me of being a liar and that I damaged all this. Like, if they could, if they said they can't do anything about it because I'm a week late for the 14-day return policy, I was expecting that as well, as a precaution. But in terms of accusing me of all that, that's just pushing it over the limit. I can understand if I can't return my computer, but there's no need to make up all these excuses saying that, my story is full of shit and that I caused all this. But anyways, I'm not, trying to bitch about this on YouTube or trying to expose them or anything, but I'm just saying I highly recommend dealing with Apple than Best Buy, because they don't really have the best customer service. If you do, buy something and they think you did it, you're pretty much screwed. Even if you didn't do it, you're pretty much screwed. So, I still shop at Best Buy, for little things, like maybe an iPod, but in terms of buying another computer or anything, large scale like that, I probably stick with either, maybe Future Shop, because I had better experience with them, actually, so I should have bought my computer there, and, or, buy it at the Apple Store, or even go online and buy it directly from the manufacturer's website. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. It's not really supposed to be, not really meant to be an exciting video or anything like that, but I just want to address this issue for you guys, to prevent this from you guys happening, or for this to happen to you guys, and or for those of you who already experienced this. But anyways, yeah, Best Buy. Anyways, I guess the cool thing would have been to record that entire conversation on my iPhone. I thought that would have been nice, but I didn't really think of that at the time. But oh well, anyways, that's a little update on my MacBook Pro. So in other words, I guess I'm sticking with this machine here, other than the clicking noise, which hopefully will not get any worse. And I might think about buying Apple Care to extend the warranty on this for another 2 years. But buying an Apple Care for the 15-inch MacBook Pro is $299, which is hell of expensive, and that's with the education discount. So yeah, that definitely does not come cheap. And but yeah, hopefully the hinge thing won't get any worse. I read some people on MacBook forums who also have a similar issue, saying that the clicking goes away after a few months. But we'll see about that. And in terms of the scratch issue, that I can live with. But clicking, hopefully that will go away. If not, then might take it back in someday. But hopefully it won't get worse. But yeah, guys, that's my experience with Best Buy. It's kind of shitty, and I kind of wish I brought the MacBook box to Toronto, and because they could replace it there, and I would not be making this video. Oh well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it really helps. And have a great night, folks. Peace.